What's going on there, folks? Alright, we're going to do the 50-hour review on a Scag Liberty Z 52-inch mower. Alright, so, pretty much everything is the same if you've been following this little journey. People who are interested in this mower, I get a lot of comments on it. It's been great, it's a very compact mower for being a 52-inch. It's quick, cuts awesome, and in this price range, from the mowers that I have seen, people may disagree, and everyone has an opinion, and it's not gospel what I'm saying, just my opinion, but it's one of the better striping mowers in this, mid-range, entry-level, commercial type mowers. Now, this is a residential mower, don't get me wrong, but you know what I'm saying. $4,000, $4,500 range mower. 2,800 pumps. I'll go over some of the specs real quick. It's got 20-inch tires, 20 by 10 by 8. Again, fab deck, 52-inch. Let's check out the casters. They're 11 by 4 by 5. You got 2 front anti-scalp wheels here, so 2 and then 3. Not 1 on this side. Pretty much everything is, pretty basic maintenance-wise. A lot of room to work on this mower, guys. That's one of the best things about this mower that I first gravitated to, was everything is easy. Yeah, I got a parking brake, obviously right there. Non-greasable, casters. Excuse me. Got your foot deck lift, foot operated deck lift. Real simple. Tells you what's what on here. Some of these mowers just kind of have like numbers and stuff, so that's pretty cool. You do have 6 grease points on this mower. Again, 6. My boy Tony's Lawn Care, and my other buddy there, Grass Monkey, just to let you know, you got 6 of them, in case you didn't know. But you got 1, right there, you can see 2. Oh, and you got 3. These are a little odd. I've never seen grease points back here. This might be like a Scag thing, I don't know. There's another one. So that's 4. And then up here is another one. Oh, another 2. What you gotta do basically, you just follow this all the way up. So, this bar, you follow it all the way up. I want you guys to see this right down there. Hopefully you can see that. I'm gonna put my finger on it for you fellas so you can see it. Real tough place to grease, but not impossible. Oh man, I'm gonna do it from the wheel here. Alright, you see where my finger is? Right there. Maybe you can see from this angle. Right there. I hope you can see that. There we go. Sorry about that. I guess this was easier way to show you, but right there, and you got one on the other side. So you got 6 grease points. You got a 5.5 gallon gas tank. Thing cuts awesome, guys. I mean, you guys have seen videos on it. I was gonna do this live and kind of answer some of your questions and all, but I figured, hell, let's just do it. And I'm beat. That's why I'm a little like. Blah, blah, blah. Also, you can do a modification on this, guys. Like I said, you just tighten this one and this one. You don't got to go crazy, but just tighten them up, and this becomes just like a Bobcat or any of the mowers that you can control the discharge chute flap there. You know, real simple to do. I recommend it. Then when I said it, some people say that it's take the spring out. You could do that, but I don't know. That seems like a lot more work than just tightening 2 little bolts here. But definitely another option. Yeah, 52.7. Again, real simple to work on, guys. I mean, I can take this off of my, hand right now because obviously I did an oil change. That first oil change really tight. This oil filter, just hand tight. Couple cranks with your filter wrench, and if I had to, I could take this off. I wish it did have a oil plug like the Bobcats do. And one thing I do want to mention here with the Kohler now that I've kind of had it. This thing sucks gas, guys. That's the one, the 2 things that you're going to find. Well, I'll say 3 things. One's really not important. Obviously, the size of the mower, the size of the engine, it's just a lot bigger than the Kawasaki's. Well, the FR series, that's what you're going to find in these, mid-range mowers here. It's just a big engine. Nothing crazy, but it's bigger. Another thing is it's not as quiet as the Kawasaki. I mean, it gets a little loud and, not as smooth. But again, not a big deal. And I'll say it again, I really like these Kohlers. Not bashing it at all. Excuse me. And the third thing, now, the big thing, this thing eats gas. Now, it is a 24 horsepower. So, I've had Kawasaki 23 horsepower engines before. I had one on my 52 Hustler. 23 to, whew. This thing really sucks gas. And my buddy has the 25 horsepower. And within 2 weeks of him owning it, he's like, man, I like the Gravely. Actually, he's really not. He's weird. I'm not going to we'll just leave it at that. But he did say that his 25 horsepower Smart Choke Kohler 7000 series sucks gas. So this is one thing to consider. I'm not saying it's, crazy more. I'm sure it's, minute. But it definitely sucks up more gas or burns more gas than a Kawasaki, from my experience. I want to get all you Kohler guys all upset. Just my opinion. Again, not gospel. I do like the filtration system a lot better with the Kohler than with that FR series. That cheap plastic flap with that Kawasaki, sometimes it doesn't stick down. This is a cool little system. And if you get there's a new, the Hustler Raptor SDs have them. It's the Kohler 7000 Series Pro. It's got like a tube filter, kind of like the filtration, like the Briggs. The Briggs, what engine is that? They're on the Ferrises there. Commercial Turf or something like that. I don't know. But definitely a cool upgrade that they're doing to the 7000 series. So I don't know if next year they're going to do it, or maybe even this year the new Kohlers might have it on this. I don't know. At GIE and at my dealer when I got this, they had the Kawasaki at GIE, and they had 2 of these 52s, and they both had the Kohler on them. Obviously the Kawasaki didn't come out to this year, so but Tony, no, not Tony, my man Grass Monkey has a Kawasaki on his 36. But there's one thing I'm going to recommend. I am going to tell you, and again, and I think New Jersey Customs was kind of joking about it. He's my man. I did a live video, but let me tell you this mower, no matter what I have, cut, 2 feet, 3 feet. You get those rogue lawns early in the season or some new customers. This thing never, ever, ever bows down. Never bogs down. Excuse me. Ever. Never bogs down. I mean, I had the 52-inch Bobcat last year, the CRZ. 52-inch. They really put an undersized engine in it. They have the 21.5 horsepower. I mean, that thing would bog down. I mean, there's videos of me mowing some taller grass, and people are like, whoa, what's going on here? It was, and even the 42 Hustler, obviously it's not in the same class as this. It's 2200 hydros. You guys know the Raptor. That will bog down, and my 52-inch bogged down with a 23 horsepower every once in a while. So, I'm not going to go on a limb and say these are more powerful, but from my experience, I mean, this mower with this engine, it's a pretty big 24 horsepower for a 52-inch. It's about right, but this thing never, ever, ever has bogged down once, no matter what I've tried to cut with it. So that's one thing I'm impressed with the Kohler. So, it's a give and take with everything. You want a little bit better gas consumption. You want a little bit smaller engine, a little bit quieter, smoother. Get the Cowie. I think with the power, these Kohlers, man, they're no joke. You get an engine guard. I'm just kind of going over the mower. I should talk about my experience, I guess, with it. But I mean, you guys have heard me talk about it for this whole season. It's just, by far the best mower I've ever had. Yeah, it's got a muffler shield. The Hustlers do not come with one. A lot of mowers don't come with them. I mean, this mower literally has everything that you would want in a mower. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about necessity type stuff. Obviously, some people, oh man, this is the entry level Scag. I need 3,400 hydros. Yeah, all right. You can do that and pay. I'm not here to tell you anything, but I'm talking about the guy who just wants everything rolled into one at a $4,000, $4,500 price. You got the fuel gauge here, 5.5 gallon tank, easy to work on. Right here's your hydro oil. Fuel filters. I mean, it can't be any simpler, guys. Oil filter again, like I said. The one thing, I actually found a great way to get these out. These are a bitch to keep clean. These the hydro fans, for some reason, there's really, when you blow the air in it, there's just really nowhere, I guess, for this grass to go. A couple people say they use those those air guns and stuff, but I don't want to be wasting my time with that shit. So what I do, I just stick my hand. I mean, there's so much room on this mower. Everywhere you can get your hands in. I just stick my hands in there and grab it out. Right. I can usually go in deeper. I don't know. If my deck is up. Yeah, if my deck was down more, I can pretty much get my hands in there and take that out. So, just a little hint for you guys who do have this mower. I mean, look at that. But yeah, it has the O'Gara clutch. Big, huge difference from those Parkers, if you ask me. The Bobcat, I mean, if you start it, usually I start my mower between 2/3 and 3/4 throttle. And, I mean, it's just, and then sometimes, you forget and you do it on full throttle. I mean, it is just smooth, no shaking, just zoop. With the Bobcat and with, obviously the Hustlers I have. A little shaky and noisy. I mean, it is smooth Silk. Seat is comfortable, man. You know, it looks weird, maybe because there's no armrests or whatever, but it's a pretty comfortable seat, man. You know, it's got great support. I'm probably gonna get the armrests. You know, I got to see how much they are. Someone said they were like 150 bucks. You know, that's the thing with Scag. You know, but this mower is actually not that bad priced. So, I mean, but you do pay. I mean, the bagging system for this mower, again, non-operated, not operated, a non-powered bagging system. So pretty much, it's just a blade. You know, a high lift blade, and that's creating the suction. 1,300 bucks for the Scag. 1,300. You know, on the Gravely's, you know, there's a motor assist. You know, go around the spindle. I mean, they're only like 900 bucks, 800 bucks. So, you know, with Scag, you're gonna pay a little extra for the attachments and stuff. It's just part of, you know, when you build your reputation. I didn't think I was gonna like this mower as much as I do. I mean, I wanted it. I rode it. I'm like, man, this thing is the best. You guys have all heard the story, but now owning it, I mean, it's just it's been awesome. Nothing I can say. Love it. You know, you got an open deck. You know, it's just everything. Like I said, everything. You know, you have like a checklist of what you want. You know, when I got this mower, there was one thing that this mower didn't have, and that was a Cowie. But this has been a great surprise. I mean, the power of this, yeah, you might have to gas it up a little bit more. The one thing I'm wondering too, I don't like the battery in here. I talked about it a couple times, and in Grass Monkey's video, he has his battery on his over here. So I don't know if they changed it for this year, but, and I don't know what this kind of bar is here. I mean, I guess maybe you can, I don't know. I gotta look at his video again. I don't think you'd be able to fit it in there, but yeah, so that's the one. I mean, again, I'm just, you know, talking smack, I guess, but not a big deal. But it isn't hair protected, which is good. But to get access to it, you know, you got to take bolts out. And, you know, the one thing I like about the Hustlers is it's right there. But, you know, that's it, guys. So, you know, right here's real simple. If you want to, you run out of gas or you break down and you got to move this thing, you just pull and move right there. This will release the hydros, so you'll be able to move the mower. So, I mean, everything is just easy on it. They made it easy peasy. And you know what, with that Kawasaki, which is a smaller engine, you even have more room, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know, I haven't seen it, but I would think you have even more room. But if they ever get like the Bobcat and have, you know, the oil drain tube hooked up already to it, I mean, that would just really seal the deal on this mower. So, great mower. I can't recommend, you know, people comment on that Bobcat video. Not that, on all my Bobcat videos. Oh, yeah, it's great. You know, you seem to really like it. And that's a great mower, the Bobcat CRZ. Really is. But, you know, it comes down to money. You know, if you can get this, you know, they're pretty much the same price. You know, every time someone asks me, I say straight up, Bobcat's good. You have to test drive them. You have to test ride them. If you like being higher up, you're gonna like the Bobcat better. You like that low center of gravity. You like the compact type mower. This is it. The Bobcat is a big mower. I'm talking entry level CRZ. I mean, the deck is just, you know, I have a video comparing the Hustler Raptor and the CRZ. It's like, wow, it's unbelievable. So, yeah, so, you know, this by far I like a lot better than the Bobcat. But the Bobcat I liked, you know. It's like the Bobcat's an 8. This is a 9.5. You know, both good companies, Both great warranties. You can't go wrong with either one. I don't know why I'm bringing the Bobcat into this video, but I am. But, yep, I can't recommend the mower more than this, bottom line. Not one issue, you know. I mean, it's only got 53 hours on it, so I'd expect it not to, but just smooth, smooth, smooth. All right, any comments or questions, you let me know, and we will get you on the next one.